And I know everything's gonna go out very well for you.
I hope so.
Yes. We love you.
I love you.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Oh shoot. I forgot, this ain't the Chili's video. This is my YouTube channel. So, welcome. Let's get ripped. Yesterday I had like 7,000 milligrams of sodium. Oh. So my weighing was kind of radical today. I was like 175.8 this morning.
I haven't had much time to actually prepare for holiday due to exams. I'm just like getting as many workouts as I can, eating as clean as I can. I'm not like tracking, like how I did the cut gym. I just like quickly show you. It's this little jumper, which is a really cute little zip up from Pretty Little Thing, I think it is. And then this bra is just good old Lulu bra, very comfy. And then these are the Hyper Flex. These are so.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Alright guys, these physique updates are always first thing in the morning. I haven't eaten or drank anything, and that is just so that I can keep it all consistent, because what you eat and drink do have a pretty significant impact on your physique overall throughout the day. So it's just to keep it consistent, just a little tip for y'all. Oh shoot, man, this is supposed to be it yesterday. And it ain't. Maybe if you guys are lucky, I'll take you on a workout. But don't ask for nothing the rest of the day. Freaking cows. Alright. Oh shoot. So my little sister saw my video. Let me see if y'all can see this. We found you on the TV. She's about 9 now. But she's like so encouraging. I freaking love her. You guys will end up seeing her sometime, but. You just like seen me? Well, on
the TV, on the big one.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir. It's awesome.
What am I even going to be able to do with all of my money? Shoot, I already have 13 subscribers.
I know we was looking at that.
What's up, Julian?
Where are you, Julian?
Right there. Good.
Thank you.
That was so good, mijo.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Look for him on YouTube, and you don't forget to put the like on.
Like and subscribe.
Even if you don't like it, I said you better like it. You better put it like.
Ariana, you're gonna be in my next YouTube video.
I know. I can it already.
Do you have a YouTube channel yet?
No, but I want to make one so I can subscribe.
You need to make one so you can subscribe. Love you, bye. Shout out Trinity Fellowship Church, Amarillo, for making these sick hats for the youth, baby. And that we are. Alright guys, I always work out in a hoodie because I just like to be hot when I work out. And the gym that I go to, oops, is cold. So, I'm gonna get a freaking hoodie on. Freaking hoodie or something. I will see you in the gym. Alright guys, welcome to the commentary for my leg day. So a comprehensive leg day should consist of glute focus, hamstring focus, quad focus, and calf focus exercises. And so I start my leg days with a glute exercise since my glutes are kind of lagging. And I want to expend the most of my energy, which I'm going to have at the beginning of my workout, on the body part of mine that I feel is behind or that I need to catch up. And so hip thrusts, guys, are primarily a glute movement. I start mine with one set of, I think it's 15 to 20 at 135. That's just kind of to warm up. But my working sets for hip thrusts are 3 sets of 12 at 225. It might also not be quite 225 since I'm using the Smith machine, but it's 2 plates on each side. Anyways, guys, so what the glutes do, what their primary function is it extends the hip, kind of like a hump, or it pulls the leg behind the body. And guys, if you have lagging glutes, you're going to be compromising your power, your speed, your strength. They're all heavily reliant on developed glutes. Also, underdeveloped glutes are going to mean that your squat and your deadlift and your Romanian deadlift, but they're all going to be significantly weaker than they would be if you had stronger, more developed glutes. Guys, the glutes are very important, so you need to make sure that you're hitting them well. And so when I'm going to perform a hip thrust, I use it on the Smith machine. I do it on the Smith machine, but you can also do it with just a barbell. So I recommend some type of pad to reduce the focus pressure of the bar because it hurts. Really, if you're going over about like 135 pounds, it's gonna hurt. Place the bar on your upper thighs, below your crotch, with your feet below your knees when you're fully extended, so that your knees make about a 90-degree angle when you're at the top of the movement or while your glutes are most contracted. Your upper back, as you guys can see, is going to be at the edge of a bench. And so when you perform the movement, guys, it's important to keep your core tight and strong. Stand up and stick your butt out, and now try to flex your glutes. You might be able to slightly, but now stand up straight, flex your butt cheeks, and you'll notice that you can flex them much more effectively. And so that's the same principle that's going to apply when you're performing the hip thrust. You're going to keep your back strong, you're going to keep your core tight, and you're going to be able to really get that nice contraction. And so I move on to squat, where I only do 3 sets of squat. And they're pretty strenuous sets, either by volume or weight. Anyways, so my quads kind of dominate my legs, so I'm trying to bring up the rest of my legs. So basically, I'm only doing enough volume in my leg days to keep my quads the same size, because I don't want to detriment the size of my quads while focusing on the other body part or other muscle groups in the leg. So anyways, I'm only doing 3 sets of squat, 1 set at 135, 1 set at 185, and then 1 set at 225. For the squat, guys, your feet should be about shoulder width apart, with the foot angle being mostly up to the preference of the lifter. Focus on keeping your knees out to the sides during the movement, during the entire range of the movement. If you'll notice, the heavier you get, it gets a little bit harder because your knees have a tendency to want to cave in, but it is important for your safety and for the development of the muscles you're trying to hit to keep your knees out. And don't emphasize it, don't look goofy while you're doing it. Just make sure that your knees are controlled and that your knees are above your feet for most of the movement. And when you're initiating the movement, guys, you should break at your hips and your knees at the same time. Don't go sticking your butt out like, I mean, some of the dudes too, but mostly those girls you see squatting looking like they got back problems. You want to break at your hips and your knees at the same time. And so for most of the movements, guys, most of any movement, you breathe in either before the rep or during the eccentric, which is basically the release, if you will. And so you exhale during the concentric, which is kind of the forceful portion of the movement. This is particularly true for the squat. Take a deep breath in before you start on the way down and hold it till you're coming up. When you're coming up, use the exhalation of your breath to aid in the power output. Just try and breathe in while you're squatting, while you're pushing the weight up, coming out of the bottom of a heavy squat. You can't really breathe in while you're coming up from the squat, especially if it's a heavy squat. It doesn't really work. So I'm moving to Romanian, which is primarily a hamstring movement, but is secondarily a glute movement. And so for the Romanian, imagine you're in 2nd grade, right? You're standing on your spot or your square, and your PE teacher asks you to touch your toes, aka stretch your hamstrings. So that's what we're doing when we do Romanian deadlifts. So think about it. If you stretch your hamstrings when you're bending down to touch your toes, I just had that reference to that song, Slow Down, Around the Wall. Anyways, so when you bend down to touch your toes, you're stretching your hamstrings. So when you're coming back up to the erected posture, you're standing straight up, what you did in that during that movement is contract your hamstrings. And so that's what we're going to be doing here in the Romanian, essentially. So your feet should be about hip width apart, a slight bend in your knees so that your knees aren't locked, with your hands about shoulder width apart on the barbell. And you can also do it dumbbell, but the same principle applies. You don't want to, you want to if you use dumbbells, let them hang naturally under you. And so what you want to do is you want to keep your back strong and your chest up when performing this movement. I'm sure you've seen the videos of the guys that are trying to get like a deadlift personal best, all the while their backs, like they got some scared cat action going on in their backs, looking like a oval cut in half or something. But you don't want to do that. During the movement, you want to keep your chest up and your back strong. And the range of motion isn't going to be crazy huge or anything, so don't be surprised when you can barely get the bar below your knees, which will probably be the case for a lot of you. Just use the range of motion that you can work with comfortably, and as time progresses and as you keep hitting the lift, you'll get more flexible and be able to have a greater range of motion. But don't worry about it too much, especially initially for you new lifters. Also, guys, while you keep the slight bend in your knees, you keep your back strong, your chest up, the only hinging is going to be coming from your hips. So your knees shouldn't be bending whatsoever. It should only come from your hips. And the research shows for this movement, guys, that it's the stretch and the heavier weight that causes the damage to your muscles, and that's what you want. You want to cause damage to the microfibers of your muscles so that when they repair, which you have to be feeding it, which is a different topic, but you want the muscles to be able to repair and come back stronger than before, and that's what happens when you go into the gym. You stimulate the muscles.
What's good, y'all? I don't know if they can see you. Can you get in here? What's good, y'all? I'm calling my boy Junior right now. YouTube. What's up? Thank you. Alright, man, kill it.
You stimulate the muscles, you cause the micro tears in the fibers, and they repair and come back stronger, and you grow. And so yeah guys, so another side note when you're doing Romanian deadlifts is when you're standing straight up with the bar or dumbbells in your hand or hands, there's no longer tension on your glutes or your hamstrings, and we don't want that. We want as much tension as we can have throughout the entire set. And so when you're coming up, do not stand all the way up. Just maintain a slight bend in your hips, enough to where you can still feel the tension in your hamstrings. And that's pretty much it for the Romanian. I might have missed something, guys, but this is already more than I want to be talking. So I'm just sorry if I missed something out on any of these movements. But anyways, so the next movement I go into is walking deadlift. Walking deadlift, that's, I'm pretty sure, impossible. Anyways, a walking lunge. And so this is primarily a glute and quad movement, but there's also some hamstring action going on in there. Anyways, I just kind of use this as the finisher. I'm currently doing 3 sets of 10 each leg at 110 pounds. That barbell on my back is 110 pounds. Anyways, it's not really important for you guys to know because it's gonna deviate between the lifter. Oh, also on my Romanians, my first set is at 135, and my second and third set 185. My fourth and fifth set is at 225. Just in case you wanted to know. But anyways, guys, I do 3 sets of the walking deadlift. Oh my gosh, walking lunge. Oh, I also move into a hamstring curl, but it's just a hamstring curl. Just do it. Anyways, and the reason I'm also doing a hamstring curl and not a quad extension or leg extension is because, like I said previously, my quads are already pretty dominant on my legs, and I'm trying to bring up my hamstrings. So anyways, guys, when you're performing your sets rep by rep, you're not doing your reps to complete the set. You're doing your reps to stimulate and tear the fibers in your muscle. You're doing the reps to grow, not to finish the set. So just keep that in mind. You want every set to be effective. You're only in the gym for 30, 45, or an hour anyway. So go in there, make sure your sets and your reps are effective, and get the results that you deserve for your time spent in the gym. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. That's going to conclude this voiceover and video. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. My email is going to be in the description if you guys want some coaching, or if you have questions, just hit me up, let me know, leave a comment, just support me. You don't have to support me if you don't want to. I was just looking for words to say, like the typical YouTuber stuff. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great one. Also, guys, sorry I didn't have the calves in there. I usually just start my leg days with 6 sets. 2 sets lighter, 2 sets heavier, and then 2 sets heaviest. But thank you.